Welcome to the 208. I'm Joe Paris. Brian Holmes will be back tomorrow. Okay, less than 2 weeks until the election. Lots to get to. In Boise, as you know, big race is for the city's mayor. Last night, we hosted two candidates for an hour-long debate. Current Mayor Lauren McLean and one of her challengers, retired Boise Police Chief Mike Masterson. The full event is up online right now, an hour-long debate with no commercial interruption. You can take a look at the KTVB YouTube channel. That's the easiest way to go watch that. And we dug into zoning, growth, housing, the homeless. And there was also a lot of talk about the police chief situation in Boise. As you recall, former Chief Ryan Lee was fired after a collection of controversies. And Lee was selected by McLean in the very beginning of her tenure, which has been a major talking point for the Masterson campaign. And we got to see the candidates finally go head-to-head on this topic. Let's take a look.
I wasn't involved in the process. The mayor did ask me to write questions that she felt was appropriate in asking each candidate. It boiled down to two people. I thought the one person that was selected didn't have the significant management experience that was necessary to run a city, didn't understand command staffs, didn't understand cultures, whereas the other candidate from a large city in Texas had significant background experience, significant community experience, and obviously was the better choice. But it's the mayor's call in the end.
I'm curious, why didn't you speak up then if you have these concerns?
Because I wasn't asked to and it wasn't my place.
Okay.
Process to hire a police chief included the last administration that opened the position, a search firm that collected the positions, a lot of people that volunteered their time, so really dismissing their time by saying it was just me, to provide feedback, and presented to me the options, and I chose one.
Mr. Masterson.
That issue came up in our debate the other night where the mayor said that the process was initiated by her predecessor. I don't think that that's true. I have talked to her predecessor. Her predecessor was in the fight for his life in a mayoral re-election. He didn't have time to open that selection process. I believe it was done after the mayor took office. We need to sit down and we need to talk about how Americans support the police officers instead of demoralizing them by casting aspersions on them when a rogue, troubled captain was making racist remarks. We don't blame an organization of 300 men and women that are the police officers. We work with them. We don't cast aspersions upon them and suspicions.
Mayor McLean, I want you to respond, if you'd like to the claims from Mr. Masterson. I'm curious, do you think that you labeled, or do you think you kind of threw everyone in one basket in the situation with the white supremacy?
You know, I appreciate that, because let's not forget that we were all rattled by the news that an officer that had been in the department for over 20 years, promoted multiple times, the first time by my opponent, didn't just speak about racism, he wrote in a white national circuit and was showing up at a conference. He wrote about his fellow officers of color. Now, it was important that we hire someone that could take a look to see if this person had impacted our officers, to see if this person had impacted the public.
Honestly, we could spend the entire show breaking down just that little piece, but there were some questions that I saw after the debate in terms of who hired the chief of police, who was responsible for Ryan Lee being the chief of police in Boise. And I did get the contract that was in terms of searching for the new chief of police, and we got that from the city today. So let's all look at this here together. As we pull it up on screen, you'll see this yellow highlight come up. It's going to be the date for November 1st, 2019. I know that's small there, but that's exactly when the contract was signed for the search for the new chief of police. So that was actually right before the election in 2019 when Mayor Dave Beater was still in office. So did the mayor, meaning Mayor McLean, select the right person? And in her words, it didn't work out. She did get to make the final decision. Mr. Masterson, though, is clear that he didn't like the pick. So what about the other person? We heard there was two major finalists. Well, McLean said she essentially had two choices. We do know that Joseph Chacon, the one that was there as a finalist with Lee, he was working for the Austin Police Department, and he actually left the department there after some controversies. And if you want to know more about what's on your ballot, you're in luck. Head over right now to ktvb.com. The voter guide is ready. You can also text the word VOTE to your number on your screen, 208-321-5614. We'll send you that voter guide instantaneously right to your phone.